Hello everyone, today we're going to learn about PHP, and we are using a program to write the PHP called Eclipse for PHP developers, version Oxygen 4.7, but you can use an older version or an earlier version, everything will be okay. Now, in order to write any type of PHP code, as you can see, there is a special syntax, and the paragraph of the PHP should be start with those letters and end with those letters, and inside will be the PHP command. For example, this command will be echo, it means print, hello world, and it ends with this dot point semicolon, and this is the general syntax for this program to run. So let's execute it. It means run it. We click like play, it will save it and we'll run it, and we see this is the lab, the development environment, and it's right to the user hello world. So let's change it. Let's say hello world, this is my PHP, and it have to be inside the brackets. And let's save it, click save, compile it, and you can see it right, hello world, this is my PHP. Now this is a very simple example, but we can define a variable we call a message. It will start with the sign $MSG, and it will be empty for the beginning, for example, and then we can set MSG is equal to hello. Wait a minute. This is a string var. And we're even gonna add some numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we said dot in the end. Now, in order to write this content, we will pass this var to the command here. To the command here, and what the program will do, it will write hello, this is a string val 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we don't must this part, we can delete this part, by the way, not mandatory, and we will save it. And we will compile it. Right click, run server. Hello, this is a string var 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to understand that since everything here from here to here, it's called string, even there is some numbers here inside, it's still a string, and everything is located in this variable inside. But we can make a little more things with strings. For example, we can run a program that will tell me echo jump to a new line. Okay, now we would like to calculate the string length. Now we would like to calculate the string length. So we can write here string length is, and we will run a function called strlen, and the compiler already tell me that strlen, as you can see here, get the string length. The parameter, it will get a string, so the string will be the string name msg, and it will return the number of the length. It means the length of the string. If there is no string inside, it will return 0. It means it's empty. So let's see. We will pass the var. It's a string var msg, and we will run the program. Let's save it and run the program. As you can see, hello, this is a string var 1 2 3 4 5 6 dot, and the string length is 35. We can now we'll add more function on strings. For example, let's assume we want to reverse the string. We want it to will be like reverse the sequence of the letters. So we're gonna use a function called str reverse, and we call it str reverse, and it will reverse the string. Let's save it and run it. As you can see, it's str reverse 6 5 3 2 1. var was rav, and string was grint, and a stay a, and is si. Now this one is sheet ole. Okay, so we will add another new line before, but it will be nice to us to see. So I want to show you more usable string function that you can use in your program in the future. So there is another function called in PHP called str word count, and this function can count the number of words inside the string. This is useful, believe me, to use it in the future. It also gives you if there is spaces in the string. So this is going to be the function. Let's run it. Let's refresh it. Maybe didn't save it. We need a new line. It will be easier for us to understand. Okay, so it tell me STR word count, there is 6, so there is 6 rows. Let's try. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the A wasn't a word. It was a word because only one. Also this one. So from 2 letters it's a word. So this was a very useful another function. But what if we want to search a string in a string? For example, let's say let's add an email, for example, test@gmail.com, and even let's assume that I want to test if there is this letter inside the whole string, if it exists. So there is a command for this called STR Position, and he can search for a letter or a word inside the string. And let's give it a simple example that will be understandable. Let's say this is a test, and I would like to know if the word is exists. Okay, I would like to know, it's a little move it will be understand. I would like to know if is contained is inside the string. If it is, it will write me true. If it's wrong, not exists, it will write me false. And we can add even something that will be logical, human understandable. Is it it okay contains string. Okay, contains string. So let's try. And as you can see, it's told me that it's contain string and found it in location number 2. But what does it mean, number 2? So let's go and look. He looked number 2 was here. He find the first occurrence here. Now this is not, I don't want you to be confused, so let's say the is to test and rerun it again. Okay, so as we can see, it contains string, the search string in number 10, and let's count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 10th place of the character. It started and he found this letter, this word test. And this is very useful. For example, if I have user need to enter an email. For example, let's give the email test at gmail.com, and we would like to know that if this is contain this letter. Okay, if it contains this letter, we can get a higher value than 0. If it's not, we're going to get 0. So let's first of all test that it's working for its contain. As you can see, yes, it's contained. It's a number 4, so that means this is higher than 0. It means it contains this letter. And let's now delete. Let's example, the user forgot to enter this at letter, this letter. So we see this character does not exist in this string. So I will run it, and since there is nothing here, it writes 0, and it doesn't present us the 0 letter, because this is in the future we're gonna learn why. But as you see, there is no number. There's no number. It means it didn't found it. So this is STR position. It gives me the position of this word or letter inside the string. This is very, very useful in the future. Another good is string manipulation that we can use is the STR replace. And let's see how it's going to use it. Okay, so it will be echo STR STR replace. They replace all occurrence of the search string with the replacement string. So this is the mixed string, mixed replace, and mixed subject. And okay, so this is going to be the searched string. We're going to search for this word. For example, let's say replace this. Let me see in the future what is it in a few minutes with this. I need to change the keyboard. My keyboard doing me a lot of problems. And let's assume this is the string. And my email is, oh, wait a minute, it's not, my email is at gmail.com. So some sites don't give you the real email, that just give you a space with the word at. So if this is correct, oh, we have a syntax error. This is good. So we can see that my emails at gmail.com. Let's understand what we have done. First of all, let's give it the two names. And this was the string. This was the string, my email at Gmail, and this was what we search. It included space, as you see, space at space, and it was changed with this letter. So it's fixed. It's now with my email at gmail.com. We have another A here. Now it's correct. Now it's fixed, and you can say change it, it replace. Now it's my emails at gmail.com. This is very useful, by the way. This is a very powerful, very useful string manipulation. Now there is a very nice website called w3schools.com, and we can look about some information about PHP mathematics, arithmetic operators, and it will guide us how we can, what is the good syntax to use it. So we have the plus, it's called addition. It's when we would like to add x plus y, and it will be a sum. Subtraction, multiplication, this will be the sign, the multiplication, division, and modulo. This is something that will give you an example in a few minutes. It's the reminders, and we use it a lot. And exponential, it's the power of, is raising x of the width of power. So this is something that we're gonna use. So let's see some example. For example, you give us, let's see, an addition. So as you see, this is a PHP. We'll give this variable, but this is a numeric variable, x equal to 10 and y equal to 6, and it will echo x plus y. So let's copy it from here to here, or even we can copy all of this and bring it to our compiler. Up. And this is our compiler. We will end the PHP file. Where's the PHP file? Okay. And paste it over here. It's a new block of PHP. We can use it. As you can see in the right, the compiler show me that I have three variables. One is message, MSG, X, and Y. And let's give a new line here. And run it. So as you see, the result is 16. And the same will be if we're gonna divide it or multiply it and more. What I want you to show you is the modulo. That this is very important. Modulo is something we're going to use a lot in the future. So if for this we'll give 100 and y will be 10. So we're going to run it. So we see that the remainder is 0, because if we divided 100 by 10, it's a 10 times, there is no remainder. But if we're gonna divide 100 by 97, for example, so 100 divided to 97, we'll give him modulo 3. It's 1, and the modulo, the remainder is 3. Yes? So we're going to use in the future a lot of modulo for more advanced topics, but for now it's enough. So what we have learned so far, that we defined a variable, and the syntax for variable is always start with the sign of $, and then we can say any var, like var, any name or whatever name we would like, and we can assign here it a value of string. So we saw that when we defined a variable, it can have letters, and then we call it a string, a variable like this, or it can contains numbers, and then we call it a numeric value. This is too much. And we saw the manipulation that we can do on each of those string. Now another very important is a condition sentence. And what is a condition sentence? Condition sentence actually it's when there is a condition. For example, we can define a variable called x and set him to 13, and we'll say if x is bigger than 10, then write this message: x is bigger than 10. Else, it means if it's not bigger than 10, then x is less than 10. Write x is less than 10. Let's run it. Let's see the way it's gonna run. So x is bigger than 10. Okay, and now let's go back and change x to 6, and let's think what's gonna happen. So x is equal to 6, so here it will be something like here, it's gonna be 6. Is 6 is equal to 10? No. So it's not gonna execute this line, it's gonna jump to this part and write this part. So actually in the condition it's goes like that, it's acting like that. If this part is true, inside the bucket, it's so it will execute this part. If this part is false, it will execute this part. It will jump here, is not going to execute, it will jump to this part, to this block. So let's go back and we will run. Let me remind you, x is equal to 6. Now we expect that it will write this part. Wait a minute. Close others. Wait a second. Save it. Try it. So x is less than 10. This is the correct, and we can even make it a little nicer. Echo and write your var x is, and just give it a human readable look. And another echo. Oh, you know what? Let's then jump to a new line and refresh. Your var x is 6, x is less than 10. Wonderful. So this was an if condition. And we can make if inside x. For example, said we can, for example, write this part and write another if. And if we know that is less than 10, let's for example check if x is bigger of 4, yes, then write x is bigger than 4. There's no use for this program, it's only for teaching, yes. So as you see, we have one block of if, and inside the else we have another if. It's if inside an if, and we use it a lot in programming. It's a very common way. So as you can see, your var x is 6, x is less than 10, x is bigger than, then 4. Let's fix it here and give it a new line. So now let's see. Your var x is 6, x is less than 10, x is bigger than 4. Okay, so this is a conditional and let's see in this wonderful website a little. So we learned about an if condition. This is the condition, the logical condition, and they give us right now another example. For example, a date. So t will be a variable that will have the date, the current time and date, and it will check if it's higher or bigger than 8. So if it's, let's echo. Let's take it and play with this later. Actually, it's not so important. It's not a good example. So what we can write here, it's let's echo x. Give us let's, actually it doesn't give me to edit. Why is that? I don't know what happened, not let me to edit. I think they have right now a small bug, but usually it gives us the ability to edit. So anyway, let's go and continue. So as we can see that the if condition, this is the condition, if is this part will be executed if the condition is true. This is the condition, like x is bigger than 10, and this part will be executed, will be run if the condition, this condition is false. So let's take this example and run it in our machine. And I'm gonna write a new block here, and we're gonna give it a new line, an HTML line, command br 2 lines, okay. And I would like to add another line here, echo the value of t. So t value is the t value is, so let's see what is the t value, and let's run it. So the t value is 16, so it means the time right now is 16, and 16 is bigger than what was it? So the value was 16. Let's add here, for example, a new line. So let's remember it was 16, yeah. So we'll write here 16. That will be easier to understand. So 16 is less than 20. So this is true, yeah. So it will execute this part, and it will write me have a good day. But if it was higher, like 21, it will execute this part. It will have a good night. For example, let's go and set t for 21 value. We overwrite the value of this function. So in this position we know that it was 16. Now we set it to 21 and run it, and this say good night. Okay, so now there is an example. Another way to write it is not only if, it's else if, but I don't want you to confuse it right now. We're gonna go back in this to the future. Now there is another conditional, very important, that I know it's a little too much, but we're going to go in the next lesson. It's called a switch. It's a very important, but I'm going to show you in the next lesson. Right now I want to show you a loops. Loops is a very important, and we will go to the for loops. And what is a loop? A loop is some command that have some inside condition that execute the code again and again and again. And that I will run an example, then I will give it explanation. So let's go and write here a new file called loops, file new PHP file, and we call it loops, and it will be a for loop. I'm gonna finish it, yeah, and we paste the code from the website that we just used. And as you can see here, there is a variable called x. This is the variable. It's equal to 0, and it will run 10 times. Why it will run 10 times, I'm immediately going to explain, but let's run it first. Let's run it first. as you can see, actually run it 11 times including 0. The number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. And let's go by the loop step by step. So I'm gonna change it for now, for it will be easier to understand. Give me a second. And I will write it more understandable. Okay, what we have here, and we're gonna use many time loops right now, just so you general idea to get to understand. But as you can see here, this is the condition part, and it says, first of all, okay, it's saying first of all x is equal to 0. Now repeat this action. Okay, so let's change it from 0 to 1. So x equal to 1, and repeat this block until x is equal or less than 10. So while x is less than 10, run this code. So then it comes to this part and say x is equal to x plus 1. And this is the most important part, because x is equal to x plus 1. This is the counter. Every time you're going step like this. So let's begin it. X is equal to 1. Now, is x equal, is x is less than 10 or equal to 10? Yes. Then x is equal to x plus 1. So it means x will be equal to 2. But first of all, before you run this part, is doing this part. So this one will be, the number is 1. Now you will go another time. X is equal to number 2. This part is only being executed in the first of the 4. This part is execute every time, and this part it will execute in this position. So now we remember that the last time it was equal to 1, and when we wrote this line is equal to 2, and now we can say is x is less than 10 or equal to 10. Yes, x is equal to 2. So execute this line. So we will write the number is 2 and do this part. X is equal to x plus 1. It means 3. So we're gonna get, what is it? We're gonna get this line. Now it continues. Now it's equal to 3. So it's go to here. Is 3 is equal or less than 10? Yes. So execute this line. So it's going to write the number is 4 and the new line. And here we're going to do this part. Is x is equal to x plus 1. It means 3 is equal to 3 plus 1. It will be 4. And this is going to be repeatable until it will be equal to 10. And this is right. This is why we get here 10. But we can also change it. Okay, we can change it. We can set equal, this is equal to 21. Run it until 130, and every time add 1. So let's save it, and we're going to run it. As you can see, wrote many times. But this is not the end. What we can do, we can go back and say let x equal to 1, but don't step one by one, step 1 by 4. So it will be 1, 5, and so more, because we change the condition here. We change the stepper, the step levers. So we'll execute, and we can see 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, and this is good. Let's give another example. I know this really, let's x equal to 0, and we would like it to run from 0 to 1000 and only write 117, for example. So this is what he execute. Now I would like, if this jump equal to 468, I would like him to write down I found the number, just for exercise, not really important. So we're gonna go here and we'll make a condition. If x is equal to this number, I would like him to write echo, make it simple, echo whoa, I found the golden number. Oh, I need to change my keyboards as soon as possible. I find my golden number, okay, and I want him to do some puff asterisk, and here also puff asterisk, and as you see, there is some syntax error. Of course, x does not exist, and you give me also syntax error here and here, and we need to close the if. So close the block, and we'll move a little. Now what's gonna do? We will run from 0 to 1000. It will jump 117. If one of the numbers will equal to 468, then it will write, wow, I found the golden number. And let's run it. And as you can see, right here, wow, I found the golden number. It's 468. Now we can set another thing. Let's write only the numbers that divide without a reminder. Okay, without a reminder of 17, for example. I want to see all the numbers that divide from 0 to 1000 of 17. So first of all, I want to run from 0 to 1000. So I'll change it to 1. It will step 1 by 1, and then I will say if x modulo 17 is equal to 10, is equal to 0. This is the way I write it. Okay, it means if there is no reminder, so he will take the x, will divide it, it will modulo with 17. If there is no reminder, it means it will be 0. Then he will write me this is a number divide by 17 without a reminder. Okay, and of course we would like him to write me the numbers, so here in the end we will add that he will give us the numbers. Okay, so this is not a math course, that I would just want you to show you the modulo example. So as you can see, it runs from 0 to 1000, and we would like to know, and he found those numbers, but we want to know how much there is. So let's add another variable called a counter. Call it a counter, and it will be equal to 0. And every time we find a number, we will add counter is equal to counter plus 1. And maybe I didn't write correctly, so yeah, counter is equal counter plus 1. Yes. Now, by the way, we're usually not going to write counter equal to colon equivalent. Now we're just gonna write it like this. This is a comma. This slash is a comma. It's not running. It's like a remark. So counter is equal counter plus 1 will be the same thing like we're going to write counter plus plus. But now we're going to leave it for simple like this. Okay? And I will delete it. It's not going to confuse you. So counter is equal to counter plus 1. So in the end, we would like to know if we found a remainder. So let's echo and write new line. Found. Let's write counter. Counter times okay, let's see, go, and we said 59 times. This is very nice. 59 times, and you know what, this is interesting. 59 times you find 17s between 0 to 1000. You know what, I'm curious how much gonna be in 10,000 or 100,000 on 1 million. How many? You know what, I don't even need him to write me the lines. Just want to know how much will be, how much you're gonna find between 0 to 1 million modulo x modulo 17. Let's run it. It's a nice exercise. Interesting. So it's nice. It's run 60,000 times. If 58,000 and 824. It's nice. So it's nice. Now this is a remark. It means he didn't write all the list because it's we give it a remark. If we change it here, it will execute, and now you see all the numbers. Okay, now let's say I want to see all the numbers that its modulo is not by 17. No, this is enough. This is enough. Okay, so you get the idea. You get the idea. So this was a simple condition and a simple variables. I hope you enjoy. We will continue in the next lessons.